Ryan, KE7VLC. Going to do a little bit of behind the scenes magic here for everyone. Wanted to get everybody kind of introduced to a little bit of what we do when we do our virtual meetings. Nothing too fancy. I didn't win the lottery, so there's no possibility of me creating my own studio and stuff of that nature right this second. However, that is in the works. Still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do that. Some of our meetings we do a lot of visual stuff. Others we do stuff off of my screen. When I have Dennis sitting over here, he's usually sitting over to my left over here. I can have him sit over to my right, just it's perfect. Except that I like to have my actual editing screen over to my right, and then I usually put my notes over to the left. I actually have 3 monitors, and I'll pull up I'll do a little screenshot of my 3 monitors from my cell phone or from another camera or some another camera angle. Eventually, what I would like to do is have a camera right over here looking down so you can see exactly what's going on. I've got my overhead camera, which I'm not going to turn on today, but I'll do a little demo of that a little bit later. Here's my current setup right now. There's my overhead camera. And here's my Logitech camera that I use for my video. The other thing is there's a couple different little setups. I need a definite better microphone. That's in the works as well. That's gonna, I mean, I'm not a rich man. I'm still paying on my student loans from all my college, and I'm not working in a really super high technical job where I'm making lots of money right this second. So I still have my student loans. I pay rent. I've got a car payment just like everybody else, and this is one reason why the club doesn't take dues, because we all know that all of us are working and striving to do better and everything, and we can't necessarily cough up $50 or something like that for the dues. So we usually just ask whatever you can give. If you don't feel like you want to contribute, don't contribute. We're not biased on money. I mean, if you feel like, oh, I would like to help contribute, like when we go camping and stuff, it kind of helps offset my cost or something like that. So anyways, I wanted to give you a behind the scenes look as to what I actually do here and how I do some of the setup. I don't know if Dennis really was, I think he was kind of shocked as to what was going on and stuff of that nature when he first got here. Typically, and this is something that Vinny might want to jot down and everything, I typically start working on getting ready for the actual virtual meeting upwards of an hour prior to. So a lot of times Vinny will call me like 15 minutes before. Oh, can I join or something like that? Can I do a little bit of video? And it a lot of times, 15 minutes before I go live, I'm really, really busy. I'm busy making sure testing the audio, making sure the stream's working, making sure the chat is working. I'm making sure my notes are correct. I'm looking where my chat window is going to be so that I can quickly see what the chat is. I want to make sure that all my tabs in my not my Facebook, but my Firefox is ready to go, so that it's just in sequence. There's no, oh, I got to search for this or I got to search for that. Some of the production is a lot of prep work. I don't know if a lot of you realize this or not, but it takes me about an hour to get everything all set up, get the audio correct and checked out and everything, and then like what I like to try to do is get everything all in sequence, go through the whole entire motions of, okay, so this is what I'm going to do, this is how we're going to do it, and that's one reason why Vinny, if you try call me 15 minutes prior to, you get my voicemails, because I have my phone on silent sitting over in a corner somewhere, and I don't answer the phone usually 30 minutes prior to. But there's also one other rule that I do over here is don't wear a green shirt. I'm I'm going to quickly show you why you don't wear a green shirt on, on my set. Oh, look at that. I disappeared. Yeah, well, that's magic. That's a little bit of camera magic that I'm going to show you tonight. It's green screen technology. I'm sure some of you have seen weathermen do this. They'll accidentally wear a green tie, or maybe a green blazer or a green t-shirt or something like that, and they go up there to introduce their weather and everything. Well, behind them there is absolutely nothing back there. If I turn off what's called chroma key right now, it's going to be just basically a blank image. So there's a little bit of a piece of editing magic. I'll probably leave a little bit of that smidge in there, especially where I was talking about that I was going to stop the recording and transition. Some of these recorded videos, it's going to be edited. All right, I'll show you the tool that I use for editing and a little bit about how I do this. Matter of fact, I'll probably use this video in the video to show you the editing part. I kind of like editing. It takes a long time. I mean, quite honestly, some of these guys that do a 15 to 30 minute video do a lot of editing. They cut out things that they don't like. Okay, there's another slice right there. Little things like this I can snip out of there. There's a lot of editing that goes on behind the scenes. So when I do these little live videos, or not the live videos, but the pre-recorded videos, a lot of times it's a lot of different scenes, a lot of different takes. The ones that I really love editing is when we go out into the field and we do a lot of video work out there in the field, showing the different pieces and everything. I'm going to be getting a sign so that I don't hear Vinny comes running over, yelling across the campground, or somebody just coming in and basically cussing up a storm or something like that. That's actually happened to me while we were out in the field. I'm sitting there actually recording a whole bunch of me being on the air, twiddling around with the radio and everything. And then I had somebody come over and just basically F-bomb, 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 all sorts of different things. And it was very frustrating because I didn't want to be mean to the person. I didn't want to turn around and tell the guy, hey, get off the set. So I ended up losing a good, probably a good 10-15 minutes worth of good video editing, or video there. I could have taken the audio out and then re-edited my own video or my own audio in later on, and I'm still working on that piece. I'm still playing around with that and seeing how I like doing that. I still haven't got that technique down just yet. I've got the video part down fairly decent. It just gets a little difficult when you have a whole bunch of audio. So I'm going to be getting myself a sign so that I can hang up and turn on when I'm camping and I'm doing some audio or video work. That way everybody around me, if they look over and they see the sign on, they're like, okay, well, let's just not go bother Orion right this second. That way I get good, clean audio, good, clean video and everything. But there's a lot that goes on in the background of this. I really wish Chad would do a whole bunch more on his side. He's got a really good studio set up himself. That's what he does for a living, well, part-time job, I guess. On the side, he does a lot of editing, a lot of working with his drone and other video. He does journalism as well as his wife used to. So he's got a lot of good technical background, and I definitely need to start sitting down with him and going over that material. I'm just just getting into it and everything, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So I hope you guys really like these videos. So I'm going to do a little bit of editing here, just really quick. I'm going to stop the process, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out exactly where my chroma key is. I know it's in one of the settings, and I just got to figure out exactly where it is. And then what I'll do is I'll screen share and turn off the. What I'll do is I'll come back and I'll cut off the chroma key so you can see what's behind me. I don't have a lot behind me. I use a lot of natural light. And I've got a couple lamps over here on either side of me that presents a little bit of a. I really want to change the bulbs out and get them to be a little bit of a white light, but my monitors do a good job of lighting up my face as well as my shirts and everything. Anyways, I'll be right back. Orion KE7 VLC, I'm back. Look, picture behind me changed. Now all of a sudden I'm in Alaska next to a glacier. Yep, just a little bit ago I was in Tahiti sitting on a beach. Oh man, I I was quick travel, wasn't it? Well, this is the movie magic behind the scene here. This is the exact reason why weathermen don't wear green. Actually, in reality, you can use multiple different colors, but you want a color that really is different than the set that you're on. So if you used a light pink background, you wouldn't be able to wear pink. The problem with pink is it gets very close to the skin tone, and so you would end up having a little bit of a weird color. Like if I hold up this green shirt right here, okay, notice that I get the background. There's a whole bunch more background behind me, and as I pan up over my face, you can see behind me. Well, the computer does all the major heavy lifting here. What it does is it spots a specific color that I have chosen, and basically just puts my image in front of it. There's a very specific way you have to do this. It's called a filter. It's called a chroma key filter. And if I turn it off, this is the set. This is what I sit in front of, this piece of muslin. That's basically just a piece of cloth. I got off of Amazon for, I think it was like $20 or $30 or something like that. It's very, not very expensive. You like on this side over here, I've got a little bit of a shadows over here, and I need to really stretch this out and make sure it's kind of nice and smooth. I believe that Chad's got a hard green screen, and I would like that, except the problem is I don't have my green screen up all the time. This is just a spare bedroom. I use this to work. I've got my work computer over on the side, and then I've got another little computer over on one side. I've got a server running over here. I've got my regular gaming computer that I've got, gaming and video computer that I'm running, sitting underneath the desk. And I don't really have wood desks or anything. I have the cheap plastic tables from Walmart, okay? So this is stuff that I'm slowly migrating and slowly changing over. One of the things that I would like to do is, I want to get a better microphone than the one that I currently have. Obviously, you can hear that background, okay? It's just sitting on a tripod over here, a little miniature tripod, and it's a wonderful wonderful microphone. It's just it was a cheap microphone. I got it for, I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks off of Amazon. Had to do some researching around and everything, and this one actually had some really good. It was about a 4-star rating on Amazon, so it took me a little while to figure out exactly which microphone I wanted to get. Eventually I would like to get a mixer so that I can get several microphones. And what I would like to do, especially in the wintertime, during the summertime I would not do this, but in the wintertime when it's nice and cool out in the garage, I would like to set it up so that I've got a table, a couple screens, and then I've got like Dennis and Vinny sitting over on the other side with their own microphone and their own camera, and that way I can put up a couple different mixtures of different camera views and everything. I would love to get into that. I would love to be, and that's one reason why I said I would like to get a studio, an actual a small shop or something like that where I could actually dedicate a space to and getting it all set up. But that costs money, and I don't have the money. And yeah, there are studios that you can rent, but they're kind of expensive as well, because a lot of times they don't allow you to touch the camera gear or the microphones or anything of that nature. And what they do is they all set it up, and then they do a production behind it, and it just gets very expensive. So a lot of times, like this shadowing back here, that's all just because it's a piece of material. Now, if I got up and I walked over and I stretched it out, I could stretch it out, and I use these little clips here to kind of stretch it over my little poles, and it takes up the little shadows and everything. And that's very important because you don't want a different color than the green. If you get a two difference of a green in there, a lot of times what it'll end up doing is it'll have a little bit of shading in your background. Let me turn the chroma key back on and I'll kind of show that to you if I can do it. Actually, I'll do it the easy way. You see that little shadow right here? A little bit of a shadow right there. If you see that, that's because I've got a wrinkle or something in here. I just got some poles set up. Now, eventually what I would like to do is get a curtain rod that spans across the whole entire way and run my green screen that way. Then I can attach it to the wall or clip it to the wall, make it nice and taut. And you know, obviously there's a little bit of pixelation over the top of my chair and everything. That's just because the way my camera is set up. If I come back over here to my screen share, and I'll transition over. Here's my setup. This is OBS. It's OBS Studio. It's 21.1 right this second. It's free. You can buy this particular product, or it's not really buy. You just download it, and then you get it set up with all the different settings, all the different cameras. It took me a long time. It probably took me about probably a month and a half to sit down and actually figure a lot of this stuff out. YouTube was my big savior on this. I really liked YouTube. YouTube was a big saving grace on this because I sat down and watched YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video. A lot of written instruction as well. I enjoy doing this. This is the fun part of the behind the scenes magic here. I also have another piece of software here called Movavi, and this is my video editing, and I'll go through a little bit of editing video. I'll take a little shot. Anyways, here's what my actual video looks like with the chroma key on. Okay, this is, and so when I go in here, I had to select what color. I could choose blue, magenta, or I could do a custom color. Typically, you end up doing green because not a lot of people wear green, and that's one reason why I choose a blue shirt or a black shirt, and I try to, or maybe a white shirt or something like that. The problem is I have a lamp down here that has a little bit of a green background in it. It's a little banker's lamp. That's all it was. I picked this up at like a yard sale or something like that. You can't see it here. Let me turn chroma key off. You know, it's basically just a little banker's light. Let me turn the light off itself. You can see what it is. All right, it's just got a CFL in it, and this just sits down on the floor. And I have it angled either upwards or something like that, and it adds a little bit of a light to the background. It allows the camera to actually see that that backdrop is green. All right. Sometimes it gets a little bit in my eye and I have to kind of adjust it. So sometimes there's a little bit of a green hue that bounces up into my face and stuff. I would eventually like to get rid of that and get myself really a real light kit. Maybe put it over in the corner or something like that. And then you can always come in here and you can hack out the smoothness, which plays around with the whole entire coloring and stuff of that nature too. So you kind of have to come in here and do a little bit of a playing around with the actual controls itself. Anyway, that's what it looks like if I turn the chroma key off. It's called chroma key. Chroma mean color, and then the chrome, the chromatic area. Then we turn it back on by just clicking it. And when I close this, you can go back to the transition over here. Now the transition. Now what that does is it allows me to go from my my starting soon screen. Okay, so now. You should be seeing my starting soon scene over on the left-hand side. My face, my mugshot over here on the my right-hand side. And if I do a transition, all of a sudden, now you should be able to. Now you should be hearing some VLC video source as well because I've got the '80s vintage Justice Tron. I put this up here Okay, stock media provided by just to cover our butts. I don't want any artist out there saying something. No, it was free. It was stock media. I think I paid. I think it was like $30 is what it was. That's right. And now I could go out and buy new music every week or something like that. But depending on the music itself, you're looking at anywhere between $15, I think $10, $15, all the way up into $500 to $1,000. That's why when you hear, what's his name? Donald Trump has done something where he's, basically has gone out there and did something weird. I guess it was at at one of the banquet halls or something like that he was doing. Um, they used some sort of music or something like that. Um, they were trying to say that he basically violated the copyright rules and stuff of that nature, and they didn't like it. The band didn't like it, but in reality, what they ended up doing was using the stadium's license to play that music, not Trump's license, because technically speaking, the stadium was the one that was actually doing all the production and stuff of that nature, not actually Donald Trump's video crew. So there's a lot of little licensing stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't actually realize. If you use somebody's product without doing the appropriate, I guess, without appropriately mentioning them or doing it the proper way, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. One of our videos, Chad actually had a beer bottle sitting label side towards the video, right there, right on the table, and even though we weren't advertising that specific beer, and this gets funny. This is hilarious. Even though we weren't doing that specific beer, uh, we still got a copyright infringement on it, and was told that we had to take the video down and correct it. So I actually ended up having to go in and kind of sort of editing it out, but it ended up being no big deal. It just washed away. But I just thought it was funny that just because somebody has a beer can sitting on their table and we're doing a video on amateur radio, they questioned it. All right. This is one reason why when you see me out there, I try to put away all the different products that I'm using that might actually have an advertisement or something like that, or that could be construed as advertising. Even though we were not intending to advertise the beer, it still pulled up. Magic of YouTube, I guess. YouTube has is very touchy on a lot of the copyrights, and for good purposes. Okay, somebody who goes out there and makes their music, and this is what they do for a living, and then they turn around and they sell their product to the people, to the public. Uh, if I was doing that, yeah, I would get touchy too. I get a little upset if somebody was using my music for free, especially in a political sense or in a commercial for a specific product or something like that. Now, I advertise the ARRL. I'm an ARRL member, and I encourage you all to sign up for the ARRL. Uh, I don't know if the ARRL is going to go after me for wearing the ARRL Field Day shirt. If I was to stand up, um, you know, I had fun during Field Day. If the ARRL came down on us for this, there would be a lot of things that I think there would be a lot of people kind of a little upset about it. Um, I don't understand a lot of that whole entire behind the scenes. I did ask him one time if we could share an article or something like that from the QST magazine. They just kind of said, yeah, you kind of got to watch exactly, we don't want you guys basically just pulling it up and just putting it on your website or something like that. I think in a video setting, they're not going to be too upset about it. ARRL, if you're listening to this and you don't like me using those articles, please let me know, because then I'll just cancel my subscription. All right, that's how it's going to boil down to. I feel that as a member of the ARRL, I should be promoting ARRL as well as presenting their magazine. Hey, you know, the more I share the magazine, the more I show some of the articles and stuff of that nature in it, it might actually end up working out for your benefit. All right. I don't know what the main issue is. I don't fully understand the whole entire legalities of it, but I'm not worried. Um, you know, if the ARRL comes down on me, the ARRL comes down on me. It's just gonna look a little bad on their side, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, I like doing this. I enjoy doing this. So let's go back to, let's do a little screen share, and let's drop me down into the, well, let's put me, well, let's put me down into the lower right hand corner there. As you can see, I'm all over the place now. I got the old TV within a TV within a TV within a TV infinite loop here, because it just keeps going on down smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, I could turn myself off. Let's see here. I would have to transition back over to the screen share. Anyway, let's do a screen share without the video. Take me totally out of the whole entire picture. All right. So this is a clean picture. This is a clean. If you look down over here, and let me put my, yeah. Let's take, we'll put a black screen up there for right this second. That is the club intro scene. I think a lot of you have seen this. And that actually came from Pond 5. I get a lot of these little intro scenes and stuff of that nature from Pond 5. I really like them. They've got really good customer service and everything. And I'll show you Pond 5 in another little video, show you where I could get some of the stuff. I'll pull it up here and do a little bit of editing to squeeze everything in here. Black screen it out so you're not paying too much of attention to it. Down here in the lower left-hand corner is what we call our scenes. So the starting soon is a scene. It's a specific scene that we're going to go from to another method, and that's where the transition button comes in here. Now I could do a fade. I could do a cut. There's other transitions. I could do a quick transition. There's other transitions in here that we can do. But if we hit the transition button, all of a sudden now it comes over to that screen. So we'll go back, we'll transition back. Now I could do a fade where it slowly fades out and slowly fades back in. I could do a cut where I just make an immediate jump over. I like the fades. I like the fades, but the fades sometimes get a little overzealous there. But you can always adjust the time for the fade and everything. Anyways, so you've got the scenes. I got the club intro scene, which shows up black because the very first piece of that whole entire scene is basically a black slate. All right. And then I've got the full camera. Okay, now if I hit the transition, you're going to see just nothing but the full camera. All right, the red line that's around it, if you can see that, just allows me. That's because I've got the video capture device clicked on right this second. If I was to click off, I would disappear. Clip on. Okay, so now you got your sources as to where everything's coming from. All right, so now if I do the screen share with me, if I transition, magically I pop up in the bottom. All right, so I'm going to transition back to the one without the video. I got full camera with chat. I don't have chat up right now, but there is a little window over here with all the chat stuff. That's only if we're going to do a recorded video for like our Facebook or something like that. And then I got my overhead camera, which I don't have plugged in right now. Um, Anyways, all that does is just basically all it is just this little, and I'll show you how I've got it set up over here. Yeah, it looks almost like a GoPro camera. It's one of the cheap ones that I got from one of the field or not field days, but the ham fests. Um, it was like $30, not a bad thing. And then I've got a little bit of I've got a basically an arm that stretches over, so I can stretch it down and actually point it over if I want to, and readjust the angle of it and stuff. Um, it's not really in the position that I would like it to be. One of these days I'm going to move it back over so that it's over a little bit more centered, so that I have my whole entire area. So then what you do is you have your sources. Now these sources could be audio, it could be video, it could be images. This one has images. If I turn off my image, obviously the image changes in the background. And these images I just got from basically stock images. Went to Google and looked up wallpaper, computer wallpaper, and things of that nature. I can do other things. I can go to Pond5 or a couple of these other video sources and get some green screen video. I can even have one where a spaceship comes sailing over me or something like that. There's a lot of different really creative stuff that you can do out there. Um, Anyways, in here in the middle, I have my mixer. Now, I don't have anything going through my desktop audio, but desktop audio would be like if I was to introduce, well, we had Vinny on with Zoom Room the other night. I have a Zoom Room meeting hall that I could do, and I have that set up so that, you know, if Vinny does his video at home, he can do it. I need to find out if he's going to have a computer set up with a camera and microphone and everything. I would like to bring him in one of these days as a you know, basically put him up over in this little window right over here or something like that. Put a little intro into there. Anyways, you know, so there's the images. So all I do is I click on this little add button, and I come in here and I go click on image. I look up the image, I browse to where the images are. They're in my lower third. Like the other day I had my Happy Thanksgiving image in there, so there's that. The problem is it comes to the very, very top, so now you have to bump yourself down. You say okay onto that. So now you have to bump the image down because it reads from top to bottom, so anything in the very, very top is going to be the outermost image, and then it comes backwards. So if I was to turn this back on, now I've got, you know, the AT-AT sitting behind me at a famous lighthouse over there, overlooking a bluff. If I go back to image my image 9, there's my Happy Thanksgiving border that I had up from my video the other day. Again, that's all it was. It's just a computer wallpaper that I found, downloaded, created the image, and utilized it. In the center is my mixer. This is where I have my audio. I have my desktop audio, the microphone audio, and some of these, like my club intro screen, I use the desktop audio, I believe. I mute myself, and I run the desktop audio off of it. If I go back to the starting soon, you're going to notice that I have a VLC video source, a logo, music credit, countdown timer. My countdown timer is a program called, and I'll have to find it here. Hold on one second here. It's called Snap, and I don't have it up. No, is it Snaz? Yep, there it is. Okay, Snaz, that's it. And then what I do is I don't use the time. I mean, I could put the time in if I wanted to. I could put it in down there. But obviously, if I do screen share, you guys can see my clock. I think you guys all have watches or clocks at home. So I don't even bother with the time up over here. Then I have my date. I can put date and time in there if I wanted to. I don't normally do that. I don't have any real need for this. But I do use as countdown to specific time. Now the nice thing is, is it goes to a clipboard, and so I actually have to create it. My countdown timer inside of OBS is actually reading from a specific .txt. It's in my SNAS text files countdown.txt file. So what it's constantly doing as I'm running this, when I set it, it actually goes in and rewrites itself over that text file, and then it displays it up there in the corner. So that's how I do it. Now I can come in here and go to my countdown. Let's see, today is the 24th, so let's do 24/11/2018, and we'll do 1830 just to show. If I hit the start button, it automatically starts, and you see it over in the corner over here. So if I was to transition, now in that scene you should have heard the vintage Justice music, as well as saw the timer. Now notice it's 9 hours 24 minutes, and then it just keeps going back and forth and changing that. I could do other things with it. I don't really do a lot of this, a lot of these types of things, although I can put in different text, switch lines, so I could have something pop up every once in a while in the lower screen or something like that. I can also display my CPU usage. So if you guys really wanted to see exactly what was going on, you could actually see how much CPU and RAM that I'm using. I mean, I'm not really using a whole ton of RAM just for doing this. Now, when I stream, the CPU and the RAM goes up. I mean, it goes up quite a bit. But I can also put in dynamic files that I want to. I just normally use SNAS just for the countdown. So when you guys first come in here and you see it saying starting soon, it's because I'm running SNAS in there, and it's writing to a text file, and then that text file is being displayed up there on the up on the screen. That's the whole entire magic. The rest of this, these are all just images. This is the logo. This is the Mesa Amateur Radio Club logo. The starting soon was a background that I found that I pulled up there. This is another just text. And I put music credit in there because I'm going to give credit to the people who did the music. As part of the license agreement that I purchased the music from, stated that I needed to display that. So, you know, I think it was like $25 or something like that, as well as, you know, the information up there. There it is. So in my mixer here, if I uncheck something, okay, this is the mute button, not mute button. I can adjust my audio here, so I can come way down here. That's gonna low. Usually what I try to do is I try to watch this little mixer, this green bar right here, and make sure it doesn't go into the yellow too much. Then I know I'm, you know, really kind of starting to clip things. I can also adjust it off of my microphone. So usually I try to like leave it down in this direction here. For the VLC source, I can come in here. I can also turn it off too. So I can show movies off of here, or other video clips or something like that if I wanted to. I can pull up VLC and have it pull in a video and actually display that. So what I'm going to do, okay, and then see here, over in the far right hand corner, so here's some more scene transactions that I could do. I could do a slide if I wanted to, and create a slide effect or something like that. I don't mess around with this too much. I usually just do either the cut or the fade. Okay, so over in this other side over here, here's all my controls. I could start my stream right now. I can go live right on YouTube right this second by just clicking the streaming, the start streaming. There are uh, keyboard shortcuts that I can do. I could do a control. I can't remember them all, but there's actually a listing of all of them in my tools and everything. Anyways, all those settings I can deal with in the settings bar down here. So right now I'm recording. If I clicked on the stop recording button, it would shut it off. If I clicked off of studio mode or clicked on studio mode, or here's studio mode, here's the non-studio mode, this would be require me to have a whole bunch of different transactions. It's kind of funky, isn't it? I mean, how it just goes all the way in the back. So I usually typically leave it like this so that I can see exactly what I have coming up on my left. I can see what my next scene is going to be over on my far this side right over here, or this side right here. This is what is going to be coming up when I hit the transition button. Now I can do a shortcut for the transition button. Now there's this Elgato. Let me pull up. So if anybody wants to know what to kind of get me for Christmas or my birthday that's coming up here, this Stream Deck I would love to have. It's got the capability of changing its different keys and everything, and all I'd have to do is press one key and it would actually do the transitions for me, or bring up different video or different audio. I can have sound effects in the background and things of that nature. Would love to have that. Not expecting anybody to get it for me for my birthday or Christmas or anything like that. I'm just kind of teasing, throwing it out there. Anyways, there's a couple other things that I would like. I would like to have a different microphone with an arm that comes over so that the microphone is actually right here or something like that. But that's later on down the line. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my cell phone. You guys probably heard that helicopter flying overhead. If you didn't, that's how good this microphone is. Anyways, I'm going to cut over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my cell phone and do kind of a little front view. Don't mind the mess. I'm a prepper, so I have a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. I have my food in here as well as all my other tech gear and everything. But I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna show you exactly what my setup looks like behind the scenes, so that you guys all know. Now, if you notice, I keep looking down at the screen. My camera is up here, and in order for me to really talk to you guys, I have to sit here and stare at the camera. I have a big issue with that. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to get over that. But I end up looking down or looking over to here. There's also a TV over here that I have hooked up to another computer of mine. That what I do when we actually have the live video up on YouTube, I actually put it over to the side over here so that I can see exactly what it is. Eventually, what I would like to do is use my little tablet to actually do that. Have it way over here so that I can actually see what's going on. So here's my green screen. Just basically sitting up on its little aluminum poles. Here's the tripod. It's just down on the floor. It's just adjustable poles that go up and down. I can readjust them, make a higher, shorter, whatever, and come back over. And obviously, here's the 3 monitors again. And now, okay, there's the lamp. Now, when I sit down here, you're going to see here's all my radios that I typically have. My 3 monitor setup. Now don't laugh about the 3 different sizes. I already explained that. So there's my setup. But just to let you know, everything that is all the OBS software is free. You can download it today. You can download it tomorrow. It doesn't matter. You can download it. All right, it's free. Just look up OBS Studio, and it's a great piece of software. Has a lot of features, especially for it being free. I'm not saying that every big manufacturer or big name streamer actually utilizes it, but there's quite a few. So I like it. I enjoy doing working with it. I'm glad it's free because there's some out there that are a little more on the expensive side that do a really good job. They've got little pop-ups and stuff of that nature. OBS has that capability. I haven't really played around with it. Haven't really seen any need to, other than maybe when I've got a guest speaker or something like that sitting here. Like if when I bring in Dennis, and I might do that. I might actually have a little banner that pops up down here at the lower section down here, right here, that says like Orion, or Orion over here, KE7VLC, and then Dennis over here, K1, or if it was Frank K1FMK. I don't have Dennis's call sign because I hardly ever talk to him on the radio. Anyways, there's other little things you can pop up, our web logo over here or something like that. If you look at our club, our starting soon, I could have the little logo pop up there in the upper corner if I really wanted to. A lot of times I don't, but it depends on the scene and everything. When you guys see my screen, let me transition back over so you guys can see my actual screen here. Movavi's a editing video software. I'll do a video on this here in a little while. This actually cost. This was actually, I want to say it was like $40 or something like that. It wasn't very much. It does a very good job. It does what I needed to do. Let me put it that way. Anyways, it pops up. I can create a project, add the media files. I just got to go out and search them. So here's all the media files I have this morning. I can grab each one. So we'll just pull one up over here. Okay. So here's one right here. It has the audio source. It has the video source. I can actually split the audio from the actual, and I could create my own audio if I wanted to. I've got another program called Audacity, and this one is primarily used for recording. If I came in here and hit the record button, it's going to record all my audio. Right now I only have one microphone, but if I had two microphones, it would actually record from two different sides to give you a stereo sound. When I hit stop recording right there, then I can always come in here and play it back. Let's see here. You probably don't have, yeah, I do have desktop audio in here. Let's see if it's going, it's going to record all my audio. Right now I only have one microphone, but if I had two microphones, it would actually record from. So there you go. Now I've got audio. So if I'm ever out in the field and everything and I want to record some audio, if you see me walking around and I come up with a recorder or something like that, don't be shy. Just continue on doing what you're doing. We're going to be adding a lot more video camera stuff. I would like to get Chad to do a little bit of video out in the field. I would like to get Frank to do a little bit of video out in the field as well as video from his home. Anyways, that one, Audacity, is actually free as well. AUDACITY, and I'll have that in the show notes as well as to where to get all this stuff. So as you can see, I mean, I've been putting a little bit of effort and a little bit of money on this. I just got a Logitech Pro camera sitting up here, and that's what my video source is. I would like to add another one, maybe get one over on one side so that you see Dennis, and then one on another side so you see me, and then we can get up there. There is a way to flip your image around, and this is one thing that I wanted to bring up, and I probably will do it with probably Movavi. I'll probably do it in Movavi. Anyways, and I think there's a way to do it in here, and I would have to go through the filters or the properties of the. I know you can flip vertical. which all flipping vertical does is put me upside down. Blood drains to the top of my head, and then I have issues. So then I go crazy, and then I pass out. Anyways, there's a way to do it, and I'll have to experiment around a little bit more on this. Um, I would like to do instead of doing a whiteboard behind me where, as I'm writing on the board, you see the back of my head. I mean, I know everybody loves the back of my head. Anyways, there's another method out there, and I'll probably include a little snippet of a video or something like that. There's an actual way to do a video board in front of you. A light board is what it's called. And you actually draw on this little light board instead of a whiteboard, and it's in front of you. The only problem is as I'm writing, if I write Happy Thanksgiving, it's going to look backwards to you guys. So what I have to do is I have to flip it. Well, now the problem is if I rotate the image 180 degrees around, the ARRL Field Day 2018 no longer looks like ARRL Field Day. It goes all the opposite direction. So I have to work on that. I have to get some video editing and seeing exactly how I'm going to do that. Anyways, this is one reason why I don't, on my set over here, you don't wear green. I love it. I think it's funny because a lot of people don't realize it. If you look up, if you go to YouTube and you look up Weatherman green screen hijinks or something like that, errors or something, you'll see a lot of times when they'll like one guy will be basically like for Halloween, one of the big special effects is the guy dresses in a green suit and then goes out there and does his stuff, and you see the hand. The hand coming out, and you see the head bobbing around the whole entire screen. Hey, no body, but he's sitting there, the head's bobbing around doing the weather. It's quite fun. It's quite interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna stop this, and then I'm gonna do a video on my setup so that you can see. Yes, go right ahead and make fun of my monitors. Yes, I do have 3 different size monitors, and there's a reason why, because the monitors were free. All right, I got the monitors for free from work or a customer. I can't remember exactly where I got them at, but I've got 3 different size screens here. You're gonna laugh. Hey, it's free. Guess what? I didn't have to pay for it. All right. If I really wanted to, I would get myself a nice big huge screen right here and just wrap everything around and put everything where I want to put it. But I don't have the money for or the luxury of having a large curved monitor for my setup. Anyways, I love doing this. This to me, it's fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a blast doing them. What I would like to see is a lot more video from some of you, from my viewers, and from the members of the club. I would like to see you guys do a little bit of, all you have to do is have your cell phone. Do a video of you making a contact, or if you're one of the guys that are going to do balloons or something like that, shoot a video of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating a Dropbox, and I'll put it up on our website, and you guys can basically drop videos and stuff of that nature and audio clips. If you guys have a little audio clip or something like that, feel free to share it with me or with us. So if you see me walking around with a camera or sitting there and it looks like I'm talking to the computer or something like that, and we're out camping and I'm talking to the monitor or talking to my laptop or something like that, don't be freaked out. I'm not going crazy. What I'm doing is I'm actually recording a video. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to place in a behind the scenes with my video camera, and then I'm going to record a couple other little clips and everything, so that I can edit and piece it in here. If you guys enjoy this, let me know. Let me know if there's anything else out there you guys like to see. I enjoy doing these. Send me some topics. Don't forget to I believe it's right over here, I believe, is where the subscribe button is on in YouTube. Click it, click it, click it, click it. Okay, the more subscribers that we get, the more benefits that we get. Like our own, I think it's like after 1,000 subscribers or something like that, we get our own YouTube. It's like youtube.com/WM7RC or Mesa Arc or something like that. There's quite a few different little things that we could possibly do. But the more you guys subscribe and the more you guys comment, the more you post questions and things of that nature, the better off these videos are. So I'm going to go over, we're going to do something else, and then I'm going to do some background scenes here, do a little bit of magical editing in the background while I play my OBS video to record what I'm doing, and we'll go from there.